Well, boys and girls, it's our favorite Chud Watch segment when we watch the very, very fantastic children's show, Adventures in Snortling's Hollow. Let's journey to the land of Mimsy Moon, and I don't know, we'll see what thing she's got talking about today. This one's entitled The Left versus the Right, Whose Brain is Better? So let's see how this goes.
It's a beautiful day in Snortling's Hollow. You could learn a little something which you like to follow.
You know, weirdly, John Doyle has an intro, and I always skip the intro because it's the same one every time, but every video she redoes the intro, and I gotta watch it. I appreciate she didn't just do a canned intro. Every single episode, she's doing it again. She sings the song again. And I gotta applaud the effort, even though she's awful. She's not lazy. She's incompetent, but she's not lazy.
They're pulling you left, but you might want to go right. Let's take a little trip and it could shed some light. If you don't agree with our point of view, you don't have to make a big to-do. Just watch another video. Who's stopping you? We're not trying to tell you what to do.
I really like that top, though. Like, unironically, I like the top she's wearing.
This episode of Adventures in Snortling's Hollow is brought to you by the Snortling's Hollow Raffle Club. Head on over and enter to win some handmade miniatures like the ones in my show. The odds of winning are great. Link in the description below. So, hello my friends. It's me, Mimsy Moon. And me, Hyper. And I am the host. And I am the co-host of Adventures in Snortling's Hollow, a political and social commentary show from a right-leaning point of view.
Nancy, someone asked me to ask you if this was supposed to be a kid's show.
Well, Piper, I am glad you brought that up because people keep asking me the same thing. It seems that the mood and style of my show is confusing to some people.
Mimsy, it's not the styles, well, it was confusing at first. Okay, so here's what happened. Mimsy started this show as intentionally being for kids. Clearly. You can go back and watch the initial episodes, and it's clearly for kids. Then she is informed, hey, like, you're gonna get in trouble from YouTube because you put inappropriate things in this for children. Like, you're not supposed to try and indoctrinate kids politically for content on YouTube. And I think she knew that because she did put, like, this is for 13 and up in her initial videos. Now, because she was also told after that, like, hey, even if you put that 13 plus, your show is clearly, like, for children. You can't do this. So now she shifted the goalposts again to claiming it's a parody of a kid's show, which she probably found is working out better for her anyway, because, like, people like me and Jake and I think Shuan Head cover her, so a lot of people are, like, ironically watching her. I don't know how a lot of people are clearly doing it ironically, and I don't know if she gets that, but either way. Her claim is now that it is a parody of a kid show.
This show is intended for teens and adults. Actually, 80%...
Is Shu on Twitch? That's a good question. I actually don't know. Let's find out. Shu on Head. I don't see her. I mean, I see her, like, with Jake and the Surfs and stuff, but I don't see her actual channel. If she does, someone let me know.
My audience is men.
She streams on
24
YouTube.
to 35.
Makes sense.
It's meant to be a campy parody of a kid's show. And I used to try to be more family friendly, and the first 10 episodes are written this way, but I decided to give up on that shit, and now I just say whatever the hell I want. Some people still might not get it or think that it's all too juvenile or that you're in some other way offended by my content. And like I always say, watch another video. Who's stopping you?
Okay, Nancy, you're cool, whatever. Now I got another question for you. Why are you still a conservative? Haven't you had enough people tell you that it's dead and harmful and wrong? Why can't you see the truth? Are you stupid or something? I mean, sorry, but you need to hear this.
Piper, I think there's something that you need to hear.
I think we're gonna see Mimsy Moon at some point have a nervous breakdown on camera. And that'll be entertaining.
In fact, I have something to say that I want everyone to hear.
You can't take me seriously because I have no puppets? Hold on. Do I have a puppet anywhere?
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Do I own any puppets? I don't think I own any puppets, but how about this? Okay. Hi, I'm Saki. I'm a conservative, and I'm gonna be your co-host today on Chud Watch.
I know that many, if not most of my subscribers are actually on the left. Y'all have come over here from Shoe on Head's channel.
I love fetuses, but boy do I hate single mothers.
Or even Jake and Hannah's channel.
Hey!
And maybe you're cringe watching or grudge watching, or heck, maybe you even kind of like me because I seem to be more open and less critical of people I don't agree with than the average conservative YouTuber. Anyway.
That's pretty poggers that you got mentioned. Yeah, it is Saki.
That's right,
I
capitalistic
spend a lot of
propaganda.
time in my comment sections and elsewhere defending my opinions and discussing and sometimes even debating my point of view. I didn't know it would be this way when I started my channel. I expected some hate, but I really thought the majority of my viewers would be on the right and agree with me. But regardless of what I expected or intended, here we are. And I'm one of those people who believes everything happens for the greater good, even if we can't see it that way at the time.
If you sent me that purple puppet, would I use it on stream because you have it and don't want... Yes, send me that puppet! My god! Why would you even... Send me puppet now!
So I'm glad my lefty friends are listening today because there's something I want to say. And maybe it'll be of some help to some of you. Conservatives aren't stupid. Well,
Statistically, there have been studies that have shown that, what's the point? There have been studies that have shown that the more educated you tend to be, the more left-leaning you tend to be politically, but that's neither here nor there.
maybe some are, but we're not conservative just because we're ignorant.
No, a lot of you are conservative because you're also selfish. So I'm with you on that.
We're not conservative just because we have yet to sufficiently be yelled at and shamed by leftists. And we're not conservative because we're full of hate.
Okay, so maybe you're not stupid. You're just uninformed. You haven't learned the truth yet. That's the only explanation I can think of.
All these liberals care so much about facts. I get everything I need to know from Parlor. Oh, Saki, have you not heard what's been going on? No, what's going on with Parlor? Oh, Parlor got deleted by Amazon. Oh no!
Okay, let's talk about the truth. I used to think that there's only one truth. There's the
There's
truth,
nothing funny
and
about
then
the tools
there's
of
your opinion.
capitalism.
And of course, in many cases, that's right. Like if the question is, did he shoot that guy? Well, either he did or he didn't. That's an absolute truth. But how about, was he justified in shooting that guy? A stranger that broke into his home in the middle of the night.
Sure, philosophical or moral truisms can be subjective. I would agree.
One person might say no. The robber may have been desperate to feed his family.
Do I have a P.O. box address? Yeah, do exclamation point P.O. box with no space, and it'll bring up my P.O. box address.
He wasn't armed. The homeowner could have
There it is,
ran.
it's in the chat.
The punishment for robbery shouldn't be death. He valued his property over a human life. But another person might say, hell yes, he was justified. He didn't know if that guy was armed or not. He was defending his family and his home. The robber valued the other guy's possessions more than he valued his own life.
Again, I don't necessarily think that's the case. Don't you get a boner from thinking about killing someone who's stealing your plasma TV? Actually, no. I have home insurance, so if someone wants to steal my TV, then they're gonna do it, and then I'll file a claim, and then the police can try and track them down. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but then I won't have to take a human life. Are you telling me you don't live to want to end someone else's life? Yeah, that's actually really fucked up. That's a fucked up thing to fantasize about and to want to happen. But it's the only thing that keeps me going during the day. The thrill of watching life go out of someone else's eyes. Wow, Saki, you might want to get some help for that. Therapy is satanic! Oh, that's... wow, okay. Do you know my dad? That's weird. Similar opinions.
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So now what's the truth? One position has to be true, right? Conservatives just see the world through a different lens, that's all.
You're just making excuses for your ignorance.
Hyper, don't be nasty.
What?
I'm not here to judge you, so why are you judging me? How about we practice tolerance?
Tolerance? This from someone who made a whole show just to talk shit about liberals?
Hyper, I'm sorry you feel that way. I don't think that liberals are stupid, like necessarily, or just ignorant of the truth. I used to think that way. I thought anyone who just knew what I knew would change their minds and come over to my side. But I've learned that truth is often subjective. I still kind of cringe when people say the phrase, my truth, but I think I get it.
I cringe when people say a thing that I'm literally advocating for, but they're often on the left, so that's why it's cringe.
The truth may not always be knowable, or it may be a long time before it's revealed. And sometimes what's true for one person may not be true for another. This is relative truth. And I think, as difficult as it may be, both sides should be humble enough to say that even though we may believe with all of our hearts that we know the truth, we might turn out to be the ones who are wrong.
Well, I'm not wrong.
Of course you're not. Hey Piper, I got a special surprise for you today.
Ugh, Mimsy, a walk down Paisley Lane is not a special surprise.
No, it's not that.
Well, an adventure to Snorling's Hollow is not my idea of a special surprise either. Who's that?
Well, let's go find out. So, thank you for coming over today, Milo.
Milo!
Hi, Milo.
Ugh, these puppets better fuck by the end of this show. This is the new Ross and Rachel. Get that puppet's dick wet.
Hi. Yeah, I looked into all that stuff like you wanted me to.
Great. Well, why don't you tell us all what you found?
Where's the Rule 34 Mimsy Moon puppet? Not Mimsy Moon. She's a real person. Don't Rule 34 real people. It's creepy. Where's the Milo and whatever the girl puppet? Rule 34 of these puppets, people. Do it.
Out.
Okay, but it feels kind of...
Piper. I need Piper Milo /fiction immediately. You're pretty fucked up, you know that? Yeah. Being raised on the internet kind of fucked me up big time. I can see that!
awkward. Can I get my own chair?
Sure. How about you actually get your own segment today? You could even name it.
Yeah, okay, I'd be cool with that. See ya later, Milo!
God, that puppet is so thirsty for Milo's centrist, I don't know. What would be a good euphemism to use for a puppet? I don't got one. Sorry.
Okay, well, hi, and, welcome to Hey, What's Up with Milo. So, I looked around and I found out some interesting stuff. It's actually been scientifically proven that liberals' brains are different from conservative brains. It's called, like, political neuroscience.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? What the hell, Milo? Are you trying to take my spot?
Hey, it's Paisley Lane.
If you got a problem with me being here, you gotta take it up with Mimsy. She asked me to be here, bro.
I don't have a problem. Go ahead and do your thing, Milo.
Okay, well, that was weird. Anyway, political neuroscience means that different people have different brain structures.
Milo OnlyFans when?
Like, conservative brains have a bigger amygdala. This is the part of the brain that's responsible for regulating emotions and evaluating threats, among other things. But liberal brains have a bigger cingulate cortex, which is the part of the brain that's responsible for emotions, processing, learning, and memory. Just looking at someone's brain, you can tell 71% of the time what political side they're going to be on.
So basically, Republicans are big scaredy cats who are afraid of everything and make decisions based on their flight or flight response, and Democrats and left-leaning people tend to be more intelligent and caring. Oh, you got us, Mimsy. You got us.
And if you want to get up to 80% accuracy, just put someone in a stressful situation and give them an MRI to see which part of their brain lights up. So, because of this, conservatives are more interested in security and predictability, and liberals
Unless we're talking about DC cops, then they beat them to death to break into the Capitol.
are more interested in
Are you telling me you don't think we have the right to go into the people's house? Well, yeah, it's the Saki, it's the people's house, but it's not your house particularly. It's the seat of federal government. You don't have a right to break in just because it's called the people's house colloquially. What are you talking about? I get to do what I want. I can't agree. Were you at the Capitol? Yeah, but they can't find me. Oh, were you wearing a mask? My whole face is a mask. Oh, okay, because you're a puppet. Okay, I get the joke. This bit is going on a little long, don't you think? No, I find that if you run a joke into the ground, it gets funnier again if you keep doing it. That seems like a bad idea, but okay.
nuance and complexity. And even though they both likely want what's best for our country, this explains why conservatives are more protective, resistant to change, and less trusting of the government. And why liberals are more interested in providing and in things like welfare and socialism.
Socialism?
Interesting when I heard the conservatives and liberals define the word fair in different ways. If you're a conservative, you'll define it as a person should get an amount proportionate to the amount of work they put in. And a liberal...
Well, you're doing a bad job then, guys. You're not getting an amount proportional to the work you put in. Most of your work is getting, going to benefit people like Jeff Bezos or whatever. If I don't have the right to make hundreds of billions of dollars and start chattel slavery on Mars, is it even freedom? Yeah, I think Common Sense talked a lot about moon indentured servitude. Mars, not the moon! Sorry, I got my Musk lore wrong. You ever have a moment where you find yourself on the internet talking to yourself with the sock on your hand and you're like, why did you choose to do this with your life? Why have you done this? That's dark! Yeah. Yeah, it is.
We'll define it as being equal. And it's not just brain differences, but other differences too. Like your culture, and what you were taught in school, and what experiences you've had in your life. And this all put together just like manifests itself into different political ideas. Information comes into our brains and it's processed in different ways. So just because someone has a different brain than you doesn't mean they're inferior to you. Thinking one group of people is superior to another based on immutable characteristics?
That's very conservative. That's very conservative. Conservatives are all about natural hierarchy, and a lot of them are ethno-nationalists who believe that based on your race, your brain is going to be different. They're completely wrong, but they believe that shit. Are you telling me that phrenology isn't a science? I have a whole skull that shows the reality. Remember Django Unchained when Leonardo DiCaprio did the skull thing? Yeah, you're not supposed to like Leonardo DiCaprio's character in that scene. What are you talking about? I've seen the Titanic. He's the good guy. He's playing a different character in Django Unchained than he is in Titanic. I don't think that's how expanded universes work. He also grows up to be the kid from What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He's brain damaged from drowning in Titanic. I need to stop. I need to stop with Saki.
You don't want to go there, bro. Just because maybe I don't have one part of my brain that's bigger than the other part, you shouldn't judge me either. Hey, Mimsy, was that good? Are we done?
Yeah, it was great.
You gotta do a little ending thing, though. Okay, so I guess Milo signing off.
Hey, that's my ending thing. Bye, friends. Bye, Milo.
Bye, Milo. He's hot.
But I thought you rejected him in high school. What happened?
He got hot.
Well, I know an independent...
Why did Mimsy take a whole episode a few episodes ago calling people sluts, and now all of a sudden Piper is super horny for that other puppet? Like, what's up with that?
An empowered woman like you isn't waiting for him to ask you out, so go tell him what's up.
You gotta play the game, Ninzy.
Piper,
What?
why do you think it's so hard for us to see things from the other side's point of view?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's that brain thing. Has it always been like this?
Well, I was really never into politics in the past, but it seems like it's gotten a lot worse. I think that people are getting so angry and intolerant because they're starting to see the other side as a threat to their way of life or even to their life itself. I'm concerned that these...
Boy, what possible events could have recently occurred to make the left feel that the right is a threat to their existence? What? All we did was storm the Capitol building and try and get them to stop certifying an election while planting pipe bombs and screaming, "Hang Mike Pence!" That's a peaceful protest! How do you figure? Well, I'm a white sock, not a black dress sock, so... You know... Wink, wink. Oh, it's a racist sock bit. Yeah! It's a good thing you were wearing white socks today or this bit wouldn't have worked. Yeah. Fortuitous.
irreconcilable differences will end up in a breakup. And I just hope that if it happens, it will be an amicable one and not a war. So do you want to stick around for real talk?
No, I'm gonna
Saki is canceled, goddamn.
go out in the front yard in a short skirt and talk on my phone.
Isn't it a little cold outside for a short skirt?
No, Grandma.
Why I gotta be a grandma? I have a son your age.
Oh, you do?
Don't even think about it.
Later.
Did Mimsy just make her puppet want to fuck her son? Mimsy's been spending too much time on the front page of Pornhub! Yeah, it's like half of it's incest porn. Why is that? America's fucked up! I think so. That's probably it.
Okay, before we do real talk with Mimsy and Captain Winky, I gotta say something real quick. Shoe on Head did another reaction video on me, and again, there was a part in there where I wasn't clear, and it kind of got interpreted to mean like I'm a white nationalist or something. I'm not racist or homophobic or any of that. Jeesh.
I really don't think that's, how do I put this? Ooh, doing the Saki voice made me lightheaded. Why am I lightheaded? Oh, God. Okay, I'm done with the sock. My hand's sweating. The bit's run its course. So the other day, Mimsy got interviewed. I want to say Altered Rin was doing the interview. And the topic of LGBTQ individuals came up. And yeah, Mimsy is, she's not homophobic. For instance, when it came up to talk about, like, hey, should we teach about LGBTQ stuff and sex education? She said no, and basically talked about, like, oh, their lifestyle. We don't think people should be able to force their lifestyle on kids. And it's like, okay. You might not viscerally feel that you hate LGBTQ people, but you do feel the need to remove them from the public square and remove them from existing in public in that way. So yes, you are actively harmful to the LGBTQ community, and therefore that's homophobic. You don't intentionally need to think like, oh, I want to hang, gay people in order to be homophobic, right? There's more insidious ways, although not, as violent, to do that without getting to violence.
I said that one of the differences between America and the Nordic countries is that they are very homogenous and we are not.
Oh no, here it goes. Whenever Republicans are like, the reason that like democratic socialism or whatever you want to call stuff that's going on in Nordic countries, ample social programs won't work here because we're not homogenous. What they're saying is there's a lot of black people here and I don't want to pay for black people's health care. It's disgusting.
And someone interpreted this to mean that I thought we didn't deserve nice things like free health care because we have black and brown people living here.
Yeah, because that's what that dog whistle means.
No. All I meant was, and I hope this isn't taken badly too, was that it's easy for them to all be united and socialistic and have this everyone takes care of each other mentality because they're more similar to each other.
Again, you're just repeating the same thing. Again. The reason they can do that is because they all like each other, because they're all white. Yeah, you're just repeating the same point. You don't want to give health care to people who aren't white. You're repeating the same point.
They're very similar in appearance and culture and background.
Oh no, oh god, Mimsy, no!
Brown.
I'm glad Saki isn't here to see this anymore.
And history and in their needs and the way that they're brought up and taught, This creates a great oneness and a feeling of unity. And
then, okay, Mimsy, here's the thing. This is a terrible point. Even beyond the racist shit, which it is racist. It clearly is, and no one's buying that it's not. Maybe you've tricked yourself into thinking it's not what you're saying, but it is. Okay? Mimsy, you and I don't get along ideologically, but I still want you to have health care. There's absolutely no reason for you to think like, well, I don't agree with everyone in the country and we aren't homogenous, so I don't think they should have health care. What? Fuck you!
national pride. And over here, we're a melting pot of all different cultures and races and backgrounds and ideologies.
And all of us are human beings that require health care, and we should all have it.
And we're all, unfortunately, very divided these days. We don't even have American pride or a common system of beliefs to unite us anymore. It's going to be much harder for us to agree to all pitch in and care equally for one another.
Okay, because of you, I'm already there. People on the left are already there saying, yes, we are different, but we all deserve the same rights. You are the people who are saying, no, I don't want to pitch in and help other people because they're different than me. You are the problem here. You are intentionally creating a problem that doesn't have to exist because you don't give a fuck about other people.
And I hope that made sense. And I hope it didn't make me seem like even more of a jerk.
It did.
So I'm really sorry to the Nordic people to talk about you like you're a monolith. But I hope that at least it cleared things up. So can someone send this part to Shu? All right. Now I'm going to announce this month's winner of the Snorlings Hollow Raffle Club. All right, here we go. Now for the winner of my bottom tier prize, which is Captain's Winkies, we have Singing It in the Fields. And I don't have your prize with me right now, but what I want is for you to head over to Patreon and send me a message and tell me what you'd like for me to have printed up for you. I'll put it in a frame and I'll send it right out. So thanks a lot. Now, for my second tier prize, which is Piper's Pixies, we have the winner is Kelsey Dykstra, and she has won this adorable little snortling in her little snortling bed. And last month, Kelsey won the cute little snortling boy with his little...
Jake won a photograph picture, by the way, or someone won it and then sent it to Jake. So Jake now has a Mimsy Moon autograph, which is pretty great.
Snortling chair. And so...
Someone win one of these and send me some snortlings. I want to put them on my desk right here on my computer.
She's on her way to winning a whole dollhouse here. Congratulations, Kelsey.
Does she sell them on her? That's a good point. I think she'd actually make some money if she buy merch. Although it's a Teespring, so I doubt it. Nah. She should sell those little figures, though. She'd probably actually make money. And the doll... Again, I'll repeat. The doll houses she makes are really cool. If she spent, like, her time doing that as, like, an Etsy business, and maybe she has an Etsy business under another name. Who knows? I know she has, like, a perfume business that's not under this name. But she should sell her little miniatures, and I think she'd do okay on a place like Etsy.
And now for our top tier prize. This is Mimsy's Minions. And the winner is Kristen Goslin. And this is what you have won. You'll won yourself an adorable little wingling. When the snortlings have wings, they're winglings. She's got a little basket house. There's a little miniature.
That's right.
Like, look at that. That's adorable. Like, look at this little mini. It's got a little mini bed. It looks like it's made of tiny logs. It's got a little end table with a tiny tea set and a little, like, thing that looks like it's got, like, some kind of food and a rolling pin. Like, this is adorable. This is absolutely adorable. Do this, Mimsy. And it's got little fairy lights around it. That's great.
Bed, a little table with the tea set, a little kitchen.
Like, sell this on Etsy and do this for a living, Mimsy.
So cute. So congratulations to Kristen. And I want to thank all of you all so very much for sticking with me and for supporting me through my journey. I appreciate every one of you. So I'd like to show off my next month's top tier prize. Working on this all day.
Like, look at this little mini dollhouse.
Got another little wingling.
Looks like she probably takes like a birdhouse, maybe, and cuts like the back off of it, and then she decorates the whole thing. Like, yeah, it's nice.
Resident in here, isn't she cute? And there's an adorable little house. There's a bed, your table and chairs.
One of you guys go win that house and send it to me.
I don't know if y'all can see this. I'll post up a picture of it. But so cute. So go ahead and head over to my Patreon, join the Snortlings Hollow Raffle Club, and the odds of winning are great. Come on over.
Not handmade, just assembled. I mean, that's a lot of stuff on Etsy, in fairness, you know? Where's the line between original creations and buying a bunch of materials and putting them together? I don't know. It's tough to say.
What you waiting for? And again, thank you to all my patrons. And now it's time for Real Talk with Mimsy and Captain Winky. Hey, Captain Winky. Thanks for flying in to do the show with me today.
That poor doggy.
All right, it's time to get real.
I do like her collection of dog hats.
I do hope that liberals and or leftists are watching me today. And I want to tell you again that I'm not here to recruit
Oh, at least she learned that there's a distinction between liberals and leftists. That's good.
or indoctrinate anyone. I only want to facilitate a greater understanding. I don't want to alienate anyone by being insulting. I understand that most lefties simply aren't viewing the world through the same prism that I am. And I don't hate you for that. But if you want to know how I feel, and maybe how a lot of other people on the right feel, whether you think it's stupid or not, then stick around. I don't have a problem with different ideas, but what I do have a problem with is how many liberals believe that anyone who doesn't agree with them are just smooth brains. Even conservative scholars. I mean, really smart and educated.
No, educated conservatives tend to be selfish or evil. It's people who are poor and live in trailer parks and who are, you know, barely getting by and who demonize college because a bunch of conservatives told them to. Those people are rubes who have been taken advantage of by the evil conservatives. There are basically two kinds of conservatives. Evil rich ones who are intentionally shelling lies out to, like, people who don't benefit from conservative policies but use a bunch of these social wedge issues to convince them that the left is evil. And then there are the people who buy those things, who are regular Fox News watchers who watch One American News or Newsmax or whatever and buy that shit. They're the ones who are tending to be less intelligent.
People. And so many really cool, thoughtful, and down-to-earth people. Like millions and millions of us. We're all just written off as being a bunch of ignorant, racist, fascist homophobes that all need to be re-educated or silenced or worse.
I guess you should probably not riot at the State House then. That'd be good. That'd be great. Or at the Capitol building, rather.
But y'all were for tolerance of people's differences and other...
You can't be tolerant of intolerance because then intolerance overtakes the previously instated tolerance and tolerance no longer becomes acceptable.
cultures. And why do we gotta be thought of as so stupid for believing in a way of life that has gotten us as a society this far and served us for so long?
Mimsy, you were addicted to methamphetamine. Society didn't do a whole lot of good for you, did it?
Sure, there's some issues with capitalism that need to be worked out, but no other economic system on Earth has elevated 1 billion people from poverty.
I'm not gonna, like, say, oh boy. I don't go to bat for China because I hate the Chinese government, but China has uplifted millions and millions of their populace from poverty, from rural farmers to living in large cities. Like, what? That's just objectively untrue.
And why we gotta be stupid for not wanting to abandon the great American dream that our forefathers died for? And how can we be blamed for not having faith in an ideology that's been shown time and again to have very bad end results when the stakes are so high and our precious freedom is on the line? I think it's interesting when people on the left tell me that because I'm low income or I come from a background of, well, you know, or because I don't have a college education or health insurance, that I'm working against my own interest.
You are.
Well, I don't believe in going against my own values out of self-interest. I'm not just willing to accept...
You can have values that not only help you, but help other people. That's a huge part of, like, left-leaning ideology, is that we can all help each other via policy decisions and organization of society that will benefit everyone. It's not about just self-interest. It's recognizing that your self-interest and the interest of your fellow people are all the same, and recognizing that we can have things organized in such a way that everyone benefits and not just a very few people at the very top.
That other people's poor choices have consequences, but mine as well. People say, I didn't ask to be born. Well, no one asked for me to be born either. I accept the responsibility of my own well-being or lack thereof. Many people leave me comments and suggestions that I just don't understand what liberals or leftists or socialists believe. You know that the left is a huge umbrella under which many different belief systems exist, right? I can't know what every individual believes, but I try, and I think I've got some understanding. And then they suggest that I'm just too simple-minded to understand the truth. And if they could only get through to my sad little brain, that maybe I could be saved. They think it's their job to teach people that they're wrong and that they are right. And those people come off as smug, pretentious, and condescending jerks.
You spend your time talking to a puppet with the last name Strawman. Piper's last name is Strawman, if you don't know. Mimsy name. And you think other people are condescending to you? Wowzers.
And that's not how you win people over. Their tactic is to shame, bully, and cancel people into submission. They say it's not canceling, it's just that these people need to understand that their actions have consequences.
Yeah, when people get canceled, it's usually when they say something awful and then people want to stop buying their products, or engaging with media that they're in. That's a thing that's always existed. That's association. You're free to associate or not associate, or purchase or not purchase the goods and services of other people based upon whatever criteria you decide. It's how it is.
Well, sure, that's one of my favorite statements. But in this case, what you're really saying is, if you don't agree with what we tell you to think, then we're going to do everything in our power to destroy you.
No, just don't be racist and homophobic and shit. You'll be fine.
This isn't a natural consequence or a legal consequence. This is compliance under the threat of personal injury. And our side are the fascists. I don't understand the mindset of someone who would come over to the comments section of someone who simply is expressing an opinion that they don't share and then say nasty things to them just to try to hurt their feelings. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, and I know that I open myself up to criticism by putting myself out there, but I've never felt the desire to do this. But hey, these bullying tactics work. People are afraid to speak their minds because they're not mentally strong enough to face your consequences.
Conservatives are not and have never been afraid to speak their minds. You guys are loud and are constantly talking. What are you talking about? This is the silent majority rhetoric again. You're not silent and you're not a majority. You're very loud. Ugh.
Well, it's not going to work on all of us. My beliefs and my right to express them, whether they evolve over time or not, are a hill that I'm willing to die on.
Okay, ask your question, dude spanking dudes.
Go ahead, Captain Winky. I know you're tired. Okay, Captain Winky had to go catch a plane. So you may say, but why, Mimsy? Why do you believe these things that you do? Can't you see that you're hurting people? Well, no. I don't see things the same way that you do. I think the same things about you. Or, Mimsy, can't you see that you're brainwashed and that you're in a cult? Well, can't you see that you are? Because it's clear to me. But Mimsy, why can't you see that Trump is terrible? And why can't you see that Biden and Pelosi are corrupt? We're looking at the same world through a very different filter. When I hear socialist or SJW woke stuff, it doesn't resonate with me. I have an adverse reaction to it.
Oh, geez. Dude spanking dudes ass. Why can't non-black people say, isn't it just another word for homie, or is it rooted in racism, since I see a lot of people... Yeah, it's basically a slanted version of the N-word. And if black people want to use that to refer to each other, to take the word back or whatever, that's their business. But no, it's generally not a good idea for white people to use it. It's not for us. Sorry, someone in chat was asking about it.
It doesn't hit my brain in a pleasing way. It doesn't like ring true for me. And those condescending, better than you lefty jerks looking down on me just further confirm my convictions.
Mimsy, these left-leaning people are the entirety of your audience. The vast majority of your audience are people are ironically watching, but okay.
Think about it like this. I don't like jazz music. Someone might say, you're crazy. How can you not hear how great this is? Here, listen to it again. And then I might listen and say, well, I understand that you like it. I just don't truly understand why myself. I'm sure you can relate to something similar. Remember that Yanni and Laurel thing? I hear Yanni plain as day. I just can't understand how some...
Yanni and Laurel. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Okay.
Someone can hear a Laurel. And that dress is clearly white and gold. So why do some people think it's their job to tell other people what to think?
I don't think this is a situation like that, Mimsy. People should have health care because everyone objectively needs health care. If it's something that everyone needs, we should do our best as a society to make sure people get it so they can function within that society healthfully and effectively.
To try and convince them that they're wrong? I have no desire to do this or to shame people. Can't we just understand that different people have different brains and different experiences and different cultures, and that we simply want to live our lives following our own values and morals? and that we have different ideas about what it means to live a good life, a life with meaning. I want all Americans, and all people really, to live the life that they want to live.
You spent a whole episode calling people who have sex outside of marriage sluts. What do you mean you want people to be able to live their lives the way they want to live? You spent you're such a hypocrite. You spent an entire, 30-minute episode calling people cum dumpsters, which was what she said. I'm not pulling that out of nowhere. She said that. She called people who have sex with multiple partners cum dumpsters. You absolute hypocrite.
If half the country wants to take their chances with limited government and a free market and being more responsible for their own successes and failures and be all about the bootstraps, then they should be allowed to live their lives this way. And if half the country wants to try for a socialist utopia and they think they've got it all figured out this time.
Why do they always frame the idea of socialism as they want a utopia? Guys, we just want to make things fucking better. No one assumes that their ideal version of the government or whatever they want to implement, no one assumes, who isn't an idiot at least, that their solutions to problems are going to never cause their own problems or that there won't be other issues to deal with. It's such a straw man argument. Recognizing, hey, maybe we should be running businesses and the way that we, run society as a whole, because people spend most of their time at work. And we agree democracy is good. Shouldn't we have some more say in our workplaces on how they're run and making sure that we get paid fairly for our work? And you're like, oh, you want a utopia? No, just want to make things better. Incremental improvements to society are literally how society gets better. Shit-talking incremental improvements to how people live and trying to strawman them as, trying to find utopia is incredibly stupid. And it makes you look really, really ignorant and makes you look like all you're doing is just, I don't want to change anything ever. Society has always had incremental improvements. Sometimes there's backslides, but over time people have tended to get better, and society has organized itself in ways that help people more, and that is a good thing. And to ever within the history of humankind say, no, right here is where we should stop, is super, super ignorant. It's super ignorant, and it's never going to work. Society never stands still.
Then they should be able to have the chance as well. I want everyone to be able to follow their dreams. But I think we're too far away from each other to reach a...
I want everyone to follow your dreams, unless you get cancer, then go bankrupt or die.
Peaceful compromise. So what are we gonna do? I don't want conflict or war. Now, I know I'm talking crazy here, and this is something that I have literally done zero research on. But what are y'all's views on secession? Are you for, against? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments.
That took a turn. What? What are your thoughts on secession?
Below. So, did you notice that there was no adventure in Snortling's Hollow today? Yeah, I cheaped out, alright? Those are hard. But don't worry.
It's the name of the show, Mimsy! It's the name of the show!
Next episode, we'll meet adorable little April May, otherwise known as Hat on Foot. Haven't written anything.
Oh no, there's gonna be a parody shoe on head character.
Yet, so what?
Mimsy, if you're watching this, make a snortling of me, please. Don't make it transphobic, though. That would be a no-no. But other than that, make a parody of me. Oh, make a parody of Jake and have it be a corn snortling. A cornling! Ah!
What do y'all think she might have to say? If anyone wants to write a little fan fiction, I'll be sure to give you a shout out.
Did she just endorse fan fiction? You heard it here first, guys. If you write your fiction of Piper and Milo, she'll endorse it. Just saying. I want to hear specifics about these puppets' genitals, okay? This is what I live for. Please don't clip that.
So, if you like what I'm doing, please buy my books from the Adventures in Snortling's Hollow series. Join my Snortling's Hollow Raffle Club, where you can win handmade miniatures and dollhouses. And head over to the Snortlings Hollow merch shop for a great Captain Winky or a Mimsy and Piper t-shirt, or one of my
I gotta buy one of those Mimsy Piper t-shirts.
other great designs. And don't forget to like, sub, share, and hit notifications.
I literally ensured they'll clip it? Yeah. I've found that if I tell people to clip things, please, they don't do it. But if I say don't clip it, they do. It's reverse psychology. You've fallen into my trap. Congrats.
And now, for the reason you watched this show all the way through, the goodbye song. Goodbye, farewell to you, my friends, until which time we meet again. We've talked about a lot of stuff, like being fair and being tough.
I can't find the rhythm
Be
of
brave
this song.
and see what you'll achieve if you stand by what you believe. Bye, friends.
Oh, Mimsy. Mimsy, Mimsy, Mimsy. Please stop being hypocritical. That'd be great. Moving on. Let me see that.